Hi, it's Red Snapper, and welcome to the Showgirl's Closet. Ooh la la! I've talked about how much I hate sequins, but I believe what I worked with were actually paillettes. Believe they're paillettes, or is it palettes? Whatever, correct me in the comments. I'll take it. I didn't look up the pronunciation. How terrible am I? Okay, I have a jumpsuit pattern that I've made before that I really liked. I used the same pattern for my California Sunset act. It's very easy. I understand it. I know how to do the lining of it. I found some amazing fabric, very shimmery, at Joann Fabrics, and I believe as of today they still have it. I made this before 2020. I think I wore it in early 2020 or late 2019. That's when I wore this particular garment, because I wore it in one of our murder shows at Viva's Lounge, part of Viva Dallas Burlesque. That's where I wore this before, and I wore it when I shot with Madison Hurley Photography, one of the last shoots I think we did. I love it. It's insane. It's a little weird to wear on camera though, because it reflects so much light, but I made this jumpsuit. I have to share it because, well, you'll see. This is the jumpsuit. It is not lightweight. It looks like fish scales. It's kind of fun. Very shimmery, holographic, and noisy. I thought about making Nutmeg's recital dress, her little Barbie recital dress, out of some of this, putting this on the bodice, the harness area, but I decided it might be too noisy for her. She might not like the sound because I'm putting it on a dog. She might be like, what the hell is this thing following me around? It's a rattle. It just shakes and shakes and shakes. Sewing this was its own unique thing because, like sewing sequins, you have to pick things out of the seam line. You have to pick these out of the seam line. And you have to make sure that the thread is left at the seam line. So you're very carefully picking them out. You want the thread to be caught in there because you don't want to have loose thread. Otherwise, you wind up with things falling off. And I have one that has fallen off there. That's going to happen some anyway, but you want to reduce that as much as possible. After you stitch the seam lines and everything is close to complete, then you can go in and stitch things back over the seam line so you don't have these naked seams. You can see where I've worked to cover up the seam as best I could with these. And that's part of what you have to do. You have to stitch things over the seam so it looks as professional as possible. I'm not sneaking up on anybody in this thing. Absolutely not. But it is just remarkable and gorgeous and reflective. And it's one way to really shine without doing a lot of rhinestones. I mean, I hate sequins, but if you walk into a room in a sequin outfit, it catches all of the lights and people think that it's elegant and fabulous. So this has the dreaded invisible zipper in the back. I say dreaded invisible zipper because they can be a challenge to put in unless you have an invisible zipper foot. It is worth investing in an invisible zipper foot if you find yourself using a lot of invisible zippers. I would not recommend an invisible zipper for a garment that you are stripping out of on stage. I recommend those really beefy, molded, YKK, hardcore plastic zippers. That's what I recommend. If you are elegant and nimble and have great grip strength and easy control, then sure, go with an invisible zipper. But once this thing breaks off, once this little nub breaks off on stage, you don't really have a whole lot to work with. A lot of people like to put tassels or other things on their zippers, so it's easier to find them. And you can use one of those stronger zippers and hide the zipper. It's not an invisible zipper, but there are techniques you can use to hide the zipper so it's not obvious that this is where the zipper is. There's also a hook in there to help make it easier. And another complaint I have about invisible zippers. When you're working around a waistline where there's a lot of fabric, the bodice joins to the skirt or pants, there's a lot of fabric in this area. So we've got a seam here, and you can see there's bulk. Then we have this stitched to the lining, and even though the lining is very thin, it's like English net, there's still additional bulk. So this area right around the waistline is a bear to get a zipper up and down. Even if it's not super tight on your body, it's still tough because there's so much bulk in that area. All right, I wore this for one of the murder mysteries. I was Dina Von Du. That's what it was. Dina Von Du, a big to-do performer in that particular show. And I was not the killer, but I think I was just filler, or maybe I get killed or something like that. I can't remember. It was so long ago. I can't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday. Probably Starbucks. But okay, we will try this on and I'll show you the magic of this outfit. Ta-da! Here it is. My microphone is probably just going to pick up a whole lot of noise. I love it. I just love it. I absolutely love. I love how it looks. I don't mind the noise. Nutmeg might. I will say I have narrow shoulders, which means it's very easy for things to slip off of them. Although it's not slipping all the way off right now. It's catching on a bra strap. That's good. But it tends to slide to the outer edge or slide off my shoulder. So probably I would want to wear garment tape, attach it on there, use alcohol on my skin to clear away any oils and moisture, and then slap a whole piece of top stick or garment tape so that it stays in place on the shoulders. I probably wouldn't tape it down here or on the back because there's a lot of movement there. For this particular sewing pattern, I'm not tall. I had to take it up a bit. And that's worth noting. These things are often made for somebody who's 5'7" or so. And I am not. My little invisible zippers in there. Before going on stage, I'd have to have somebody pet me down to make sure that all of the sequins or paillettes are all going in the correct direction and not sticking up all wonky. I am like one of those pillows because, you know, you flip it the other direction. It's not going to change colors, but it looks better. I'm going to mess it up plenty on my own. I should go out with a clean slate, right? Oh, yep, there it is, slipping off the shoulder. Now on the side, I'm going to show you this. On the side, it doesn't cover as much as I would like it to. I have to wear something beneath it. Since I'm not stripping out of it, I have to wear a bra. I can't go free because of the way it's built. And I am a bit busty for this fabric pattern that I used. I made this before the pandemic, and well, I'm older. We're all a bit older. I'm 5 years older, and I'm older in those years where the metabolism and genetics take over. If someone was not as endowed up here as I am at this point, they might not need the same kind of coverage beneath. They might be able to go wild and free into the world and not worry about it. But I love the pattern. I love the fabric. You can see how it works, how it moves. You can go to Joann Fabrics and probably pick this up in their special occasion area to make anything you want with it. In fact, I made myself a pair of go-go shorts because I had some left over. I used a coupon, or I got it on sale to, you know, save 60% off or 50% off. Do that thing. Save money where you can. Please save money where you can, because it gets expensive as a creator to make things. I think I have, oh yeah, I've got the little go-go shorts here. because these are fun and loud, and I just happen to have a spare zipper. This is not a stripper zipper, but it's a regular zipper that I put in here where the zipper is as hidden as possible. And I used a really nice big coat hook, I believe this is the proper term for this, so that I have an easier time. You would think that I'd be able to close it. There we go. So that I'd have an easier time getting dressed. And this is lined with like suit lining fabric instead of the same English net as this outfit. Great for go-go shorts, great for tops. If you do halter tops, you could just do a halter top with this fabric. I suggest getting some of this fabric if you like how this looks and moves, and make something. Get some and make something, but take care around those seams. Make sure you pick out and save all of these little suckers on the floor. If I didn't have more of this left over, I would save all of them instead of vacuuming it up so that I could stitch them back in place. I do recommend that if you're working with something that is very, very new to you, if you've never sewn with this, then do something small first. Maybe do a pillow or a simple halter top. Very simple. Work with easy things. And there's no shame in working with simple patterns or doing the same pattern that you know and love in multiple colorways. There's nothing wrong with that. It makes it a lot easier for you. And if a pattern says that it's simple, a sewing pattern says it's simple, that means that it doesn't have all of the crazy extra stitching and technique in it. There's nothing wrong with making a simple pattern. If you know the technique, you can work the technique in to make it look more professional. So that's just a little tidbit for you to keep in your sewist pocket. But yes, get some of this fabric if you like it. I don't know that it would work for anything that's not fitted. So if I made a dress, I'd need part of it to be fitted for it to make sense. I don't know that a skirt would flow very well if it was like a cupcake kind of dress. Slinky. This works okay in the legs, but it tapers down into this bell bottom. And that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and boop that bell for notifications. And have you tried something like this? Have you sewn with paillettes? Am I saying it wrong? Tell me that I'm saying it wrong. I dare you. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. If you think of something that could be made with this sort of fabric that would be super cool, I'd love to hear from you there as well. That would be amazing. And you know what? I'll chat back with you. How about that? Also, I do have a Patreon if you do want to see more of Red Snapper. I have various levels. I do naked silly stuff. I do burlesque stuff. I show behind the scenes in my own life. I have tub tales where I just sit there and jibber jabber. You can subscribe at patreon.com/Snapperama. If you do not want to see all of the naked shenanigans, but you want to support the channel, then you can subscribe at the $5 level. That is, I'm just here for the dog. And you won't see anything on that channel, which is totally fine. You'd still be helping support us. Thank you so much for joining me once again. You'll see me next time. Bye.